Maybe you're facing a tough business decision. Maybe you're in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere, and you're just not sure what to do. Or perhaps you're going through a major life-changing transformation and need some guidance. There's no reason to face life's obstacles alone. Mari Rose is a life intuitive, author, and teacher, helping to bring new light to your rapidly changing world. She's here for you, to channel guidance to assist you in navigating your daily life with a renewed sense of clarity, empowerment, and joy. For a personal reading with Mari Rose, call her at 702-807-6495. That's 702-807-6495. Or you can visit her on the web at mari-rose.com.
Welcome to Change Your Layers, Change Your Life, your home for learning about an enlightened approach to self-awareness and the art of higher consciousness. Now here's your host, Mari Rose.
Welcome back to Change Your Layers, Change Your Life. Good afternoon. We are having so much fun here at the Thunderbird. Today, I just am amazed at the energy that's out there, the autumn energy, the rebirth. That's what I consider it, because we have a lot of different changes that are occurring, a lot of different, the energy shifting in the environment, the people around us. And many people have said, I'm in a constant state of hearing that we're asleep, in that process of the sleep state. And it's some part of our evolution. What happens when we evolve? We're also in a constant state of creating, of abundance, of creating different avenues, different ways of moving into a new energy. And because we are part of this sleep state, we're in that non-self-awareness, and that's part of kind of more or less of the rebirth that's occurring right now. And it's the purpose, and what is the purpose of being asleep and being in this unconscious state? It's about trying to find our love, trying to connect to the energy of self-love, self-light. It's always growing, always creating, and you're in the process of doing that. In some way, perhaps that we're in in an environment that entraps us, and it probably more or less helps us understand the emotions, the drama, the fear that we're in order for us to escape it. Sometimes we have habits, we have addictions, we have, love issues, we have self-doubt, we have relationship issues. And once you find what creates that unhappiness, we try to change it. So that's part of what we're here to do. We're creating because we have to create. And this planet was created for love, for joy, for expansion, for creation. And we're part of this. What a wonderful place to be, isn't it? And this is the body's created so we can escape the energy of all these emotions that we're going through. And if we understand it that way, we always connect to it because it resonates with us in a cellular level, not necessarily a logical, conscious level. Because most people will say, "Oh, this doesn't make sense. What is she talking about?" But if you hear these words, it's always about connecting to our essence, connecting to our love that we have for ourselves, expanding. This life doesn't work for me, so let's change it. This drama doesn't work for me, so let's change it. Let's find something. We always put idols in front of us, such as Moses, we put Buddha, we put different idols that we connect to because we look outside of ourselves in order for us to connect. But we're placing an idol, and it's not necessarily about the idol. It's about the divine energy that we need to connect to. It's about the creative energy that we're feeling. It's about feeling the love, the peace, the joy, the creative energy that's around us that we connect to and that's available to us 24/10, all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week, every day of the day of every year. So it's there for us. It's the memory we connect to. So make sure that whenever you're connecting to something feels right. And that's part of that cellular level. Oh, okay, I understand. This feels right in some way. So there's a lot of different directions that we may go through. Maybe it's about the creative mind that's actually connecting. The creative mind is the feeling mind. What do we feel inside of us? Remember, it's through our dreams, our emotions, the part of you that knows. So give yourself credit for this. The vibrational energy is about the connecting through the fields of energy that are around us, the molecular structure, what makes up the physical body around us. I had a client that just called and she says, I need to know more about the chakras. And what does a chakra do? Well, they're energy fields. There's 7 bodies of energy fields. Without those 7 bodies of energy fields, we would be nothing but a lump of flesh. because we're born into this physical body, and we're born into it like a gross body. It's just a lump of flesh. So whenever we die, those energy fields move away, and they go into, back into the creation, and we're no longer alive. But that lump of flesh activates and energizes, enlivens your physical body. So in the spiritual vibration, we're passing through these chakras. We have to make sure that all the chakra energies are in alignment with one another. And it becomes our animation. It becomes our emotions passing through these heavenly bodies that we are. And of course, we have a picture of it so we can identify what chakras are. The chakras we need to be having perfect alignment for them to have the optimal health, for the physical body, for the mind, for the spirit, for the emotions to work proper. And we're talking about the root chakra. Root chakra is a sexual energy. It's the things that we feel around us. It's the material world. It's that you feel, you touch, it's in the physical form. We have the ether body, which is at the navel. It enlivens us. It's everything in the body. It's the planet, the air we breathe. It's about the stimulation that we move with the earth, the movement that we have. And that's part of the ether body, which is the second one. And it's the orange one that you see on my screen. And we also have the astral body. The astral body is the solar plexus, which is about right in this little area where your tummy is, and it's a subtle dimension. It's working with the dream state. It's working with the spirit state. It's connecting to the spirit and connecting to our consciousness. It's part of what we feel in that very gentle vibration of dreams and perceptions and feelings that we have. Maybe we're connecting to some deceased people, or that type of thing. So the heart chakra, it's the emotional body, and a lot of things that we go through, we're dealing with the emotion, and most of the things that we deal with are the emotional body, the emotional things that we allow ourselves to feel. It's part of the whole being. It's about being entrapped in this emotion that we've created. The emotion is part of our escape. The emotion is also part of our learning process. It's the physical form. It's the physical body. It's the illusion that we have, what we think is real. It's about connecting to our heart. And that's what we're all about, is really connecting to the heart, really connecting to the love that we have. It's about finding the pain and confusion that we're in order for us to move through that. So that's part of the heart chakra, which is in this area here. And we have the throat chakra. It's the mental body. It's the thinking mechanism that we experience, in the patterns, the thoughts that we pull out of the air. And people say, I just created something, and all of a sudden someone else has it, someone else is doing it, because they're thoughts that are flowing. Don't forget, we're part of the collective energy, and the collective energy is we're part of the wholeness. And so we're all feeling and thinking those thoughts. So be careful with your thoughts. Make sure that you've already put them into action before you start speaking about them. And they're the neighbor's thoughts. They're the creative thoughts. They're the inventions that we create. They're in the physical form. We have to be able to rise those thoughts and energy in a certain way to draw more, the extraordinary thoughts that we have, the things that we experience, maybe also from another lifetime. Maybe you're a creative artist or a musician or inventor of some sort. And then we have the third eye. And the third eye, it's the ego consciousness. It's the third eye that's closed in the chakras. It's about what we believe that is, and what it is. And that's how we actually, it's a distorted type of view. It's about the ego that is closed, that we can't connect to many times. It's the creative mind. It's the one we see, know, we feel it all. We are part of that creation. And the third eye is closed. Why is it closed? Because we think through the ego, and it's through the ego's belief system that's what we connect to. And it's like a horse with blinders, and we have this little blinder, we can't see beyond that. It's the belief that the ego has. It's a desire through the ego that we create, and the ego needs to be in alignment with the truth. And we need to start thinking of the truth of what we're doing, how we're acting, how it's affecting us, and feel this energy, because that's what we're here to do, is to be able to feel our way through this planet and those chakras are in perfect alignment. We have the crown chakra, the very top chakra, and it's a spiritual body, and it's part of the spiritual connection that's shut off. And we don't have divine energy. We don't believe that there's good. We don't believe that there's joy. We don't believe that we've created the life around us. The chakra it needs to be cleared, and it's the most. And it needs to be you need to connect to that chakra, which is the most important chakra. All other chakras suffer because it's part of the primary chakra. It enlivens all other chakras, and it's the process of that spiritual perception, that spirit that comes within us that makes us who we are. And we have to start from the top and go down. In our ego belief system on this planet, we always believe that we have to start at the top, at the bottom, and go up. And that's the process that's part of the ego process that we're working with, and it's a false perception because it's a reverse of what the truth is. Start from the top and go up, go down, and that's where we connect to in some way. So those are the first things that we need to learn about the chakras, which are very important, and it's the light of that divinity that we connect to, the goodness, the things that we see, the spirit connection that makes up those 7 heavenly bodies. Then that's what we are. We're chakra energy. Without that chakra being in balance and being connected, we'd be nothing but a lump of flesh. So I hope this helps. I had an email, and this email said, I can't get past my husband dying. And since this is the perfect time, because this is the autumn energy, and it brings a lot of memory of death and passing and rebirth. And she says, I can't get past it. My husband was everything. He was my life. He was my connection to the world. He was everything, and my man is gone. What am I going to do? And I kept, I read her, and I said, you found yourself in this person that was very pleasing. You found what you loved about this person in that wonderful, pleasing way, because you loved his reflection of who he was, the reflection of his goodness, the reflection of on many, many levels. But you didn't see that in yourself. And right now what you're doing is you're also experiencing the loss of this individual because you haven't found that beauty and that love for yourself. It's part of that disconnection because you gave your love away. And that's part of what we're going through in this physical form, is because we love that individual. And it's good to love. And it's good to love one another in an unconditional, loving way, but never give yourself away in love, because that creates that negativity, that feeling of not being able to exist. And that's one of the things that a lot of human beings also are experiencing. They're experiencing a lot of the energy of letting go, not being able to grieve, not being able to be a part of society, because I gave my love away and he took it, and he did. Find yourself. It's very important to serve yourself. It's very important to give to yourself. It's important to be part of society again and find the love for yourself. One day when you pass and he's there to meet you, you'll see each other again. He's going to be very glad that you found that connection with yourself, because that's what he was there to teach you, is to be able to be part of that connection with wholeness. Never, ever give yourself away in love. And I hope this helps, my dear, because this is part of what we're all going through. We're suffering, and we're creating an idol in front of us, and that's part of our survival process, and that's really something that we shouldn't do. It creates a lot of disturbance. It creates a lot of things that we're experiencing, loss and lack of love. In a child, it's interesting because a child will pursue any type of pain. The child is in the perception of whatever the parent created for themselves, the pain that created in the environment. I will tell you how to think, what to do, how to be, and it's now you take on that responsibility. If a child experiences violence and they perceive violence as to be a natural state and loving way, although the child feels uncomfortable when he becomes an adult and he feels he creates this violent behavior in front of other people, he may feel uncomfortable because we know that we're part of the creative energy. And if you connect to that, it doesn't feel right, but your learned behavior behind that violent parent that taught you to be violent, then that's how you react. So if you feel uncomfortable in doing something that maybe you saw or you reacted as a child, we go back through our perceptions of what we learned. An image that our parents created, society created, other people created, and we react to it. Because a child is like a sponge, and they react and they pick up all the vibrations that you put in front of them. So that's part of our perceptions. So feel it. It's like a canvas. They paint on our canvas, and we want to be able to disconnect from all that, because it is part of what we're trying to experience. It's part of that connection that we're moving through, and the chakra and the energy of the chakra is always available for you. And what's stuck? What is not vibrating? Why do I feel the way you do? And by giving you a definition of those 7 heavenly bodies will help you identify where part of the body is disconnected and the misconceptions that you've experienced. It's the part of trying to find the entrapment that you're in, to enliven it, to change it, and to evolve and create and be the creative energy, the creative beings that we're here to experience. Oh, I think we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello, Molly.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Lena.
Lena, nice to meet you, Lena. What's your question, my dear?
Well, I'm actually calling about a friend. One of my closest friends lost her husband a little over a year ago. And we're very close now, and I've just been trying to help her. And I like what you were saying about seeing ourselves in others. And I'm just trying to think of things that I can say to her to help her move forward. I think she's getting stuck. It's been over a year, and she's doing pretty well, but I think she's just having trouble moving forward.
Well, I think that little bit of reading, whenever I did have an email, and they were also going through the same process, and this time of year always brings up that type of feeling, that perception, the changing of the seasons that are actually occurring. And that's part of also some of the things that I describe in my book, because it does go through seasonal changes, and it tells you what we feel within these times and these vibrations. And within her, I think that she needs to start finding the things that she really most admires about herself, the things that she wants to do in order for her to move on. You can be a supportive being. You can say, okay, friend, I want you to, let's go take a cooking class, let's go hiking, let's do something, a suggestive type of energy. Sometimes we have fear of moving forward because it's a very difficult thing for us to do. Maybe you're the friend that will help her little baby steps. But one thing I will warn you, make sure that she doesn't become your life, because you also have some ability to tend to lend yourself in many, many ways where they may take advantage and then dependent on you. And that person, it's like the baby. Eventually you have to, when it first starts to walk, you have to teach it how to walk and then let go of its hands, and then he eventually gets to walk on his own. So that's part of what the energy is right now. You're trying to help her take those baby steps. Sometimes you have to let go of that hand and let her walk on her own. That's very important to friends, and you have to be honest with them. I'm hoping that she will be receptive to your honesty, because I'm also sensing and feeling that. I think with her, I think that she has given her love away. She had been part of this relationship for many years, 20, 30 years. I'm picking up the energy around that time. And I feel like that maybe they were a childhood, a childhood relationship that had kind of evolved and grew. And what a wonderful thing. How many people are married that long? But with her, I feel that she needs to start to look for her own power, start to read books. Maybe some books would help her. She could always call in here to the station every week. Every week we do have a caller, and we can I can always speak to her directly. But with you, I feel like that you're doing a fabulous job just being with her and talking to her, giving her advice. And she may be in a very melancholy type of mood, but maybe just through conversation, sometimes having a cup of tea and just talking to them brings a little bit of awareness. Not necessarily always being heard whenever you speak, but maybe at a later time you say, oh yeah, she did ask me to do this or do that, whatever that may have been. So I hope this helps.
Oh, yes, it does tremendously. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. And call back next week. Thank you for calling. Well, we did talk about chakras today, and we're also speaking about the rebirth of this autumn energy, this amazing type of time. And from my heart to yours, change your layers, change your life. Mari Rose, please call back next week, and I'll be here, and we'll have another topic. Thank you.
Do you ever feel lost or stuck in life? Maybe you're facing a tough business decision. Maybe you're in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere, and you're just not sure what to do. Or perhaps you're going through a major life-changing transformation and need some guidance. There's no reason to face life's obstacles alone. Mari Rose is a life intuitive, author, and teacher, helping to bring new light to your rapidly changing world. She's here for you to channel guidance to assist you in navigating your daily life with a renewed sense of clarity, empowerment, and joy. For a personal reading with Mari Rose, call her at 702-807-6495. That's 702-807-6495. Or you can visit her on the web at Mari, M-A-R-I, -rose.com.